Who has chosen to come to this session. So it will really be an exciting discussion. We've had a great panel of distinguished experts. I promise you, you're going to have a very good discussion. So our section here today is entitled Cooperative Innovation, Policies, Practices and Debates on Social Enterprise and Collective Entrepreneurship. And I'm going to be the facilitator. So before we start the session, what I'm going to do is quickly to introduce my panelists. And I will do that quickly, and then I will set the stage for the session. So first I'm going to introduce, I'm going to start with Mike Tickant, and Mike is the gentleman number 2 from the left there. So Mike Tickant currently works for the Nova Scotia Department of Economic and Rural Development and Tourism as a Sustainable Procurement Coordinator. He is a graduate of Dalhousie University with a master's degree in urban and rural planning. His educational experience specializes in the realm of environmental management and community planning. When not consumed by research into sustainability trends and initiatives, Mike likes to spend as much time as possible on the ocean, either on a boat or a surfboard. Mike has worked for the provincial government for almost 8 years and is a past recipient of the Premier's Award of Excellence. So I told you we have a great group of people here. And then next will be Nancy Lee, who is just next by me here. So Nancy Lee has 17 years experience in the microfinance, most of which has been focused on member-owned models, such as credit unions and groups. As an educator, researcher, and analyst, she has worked both internationally and domestically in the areas of member governance, household and gender issues around assets, market research, financial management, financial literacy, and double bottom line reporting. It's interesting, you guys should ask her a question about triple bottom line. Why did you say double bottom line? So interesting. She was a community-based microfinance coordinator at the Coda International Institute before becoming a consultant and the program coordinator for the SAVEX database, which is the standard for financial reporting and benchmarking for savings groups worldwide. And I'm also going to introduce Gavin Friedel. He's the first person there. So he's a Canada Research Chair in International Development Studies at St. Mary's University in Halifax, and a Research Associate at the Center for Research in Latin America and the Caribbean at York University. He is the author of Fair Trade Coffee, The Prospects and Pitfalls of Market-Driven Social Justice, and several articles and book chapters on international trade and development, fair trade, food politics, and global political economy, published internationally in English, Spanish, and Norwegian. He is currently conducting work on state-driven alternative trade mechanisms in coffee, bananas, and wheat, and has a forthcoming book with Fernwood Publishing titled Alternative Trade Legacies for the Future. And lastly is the second young lady in this group, and her name is Joanne Jose, and she's an experienced researcher, evaluator, and project manager. Joanne is the president of Common Knowledge Research and Consulting based in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Common Knowledge specializes in program evaluation, gender-based analysis, and social policy research. Before joining Common Knowledge, Joanne was a research consultant with the Howlett & Sons Incorporated. Joanne has also worked as a policy analyst for the provincial government of Nova Scotia, a research coordinator, and a researcher. She has experience designing and implementing research projects, developing and managing public consultation strategies, designing and implementing knowledge translation strategies to move research into policy practice, and conducting evaluations. Joanne has worked with provincial and federal government departments, not-for-profit organizations, women organizations, Aboriginal groups, and university research centers. Joanne has a master's degree in gender studies and social policy from the University of Leeds, UK, and has completed professional development training in evaluation, public Halifax, Nova Scotia, with our partner, and their 2 beautiful kids. That's really sweet. So, now you are aware of the great panelists that we have. I'm just quickly going to set the stage. So, as I mentioned, we will have, normally we should have 90 minutes for this section, so they will speak, and then we will give you opportunities to engage them through a question and answer period. I will just set the stage before they start to speak. So the section, Cooperative Innovation, Policies, Practices, and Debates on Social Enterprise and Collective Entrepreneurship. We think that the late 1970s marks the arrival of new forms of communal enterprises. Some of these enterprises adapt to the cooperative model, but explore new sectors such as transportation, insurance, and education that cooperatives have for so long avoided, and this is debatable. Some are more socially oriented, using market-based tools to address the ills of society. Traditional non-for-profit organizations also entered the arena by engaging in profit-making activities to strengthen their financial autonomy and become more committed to advocating their values without threats of losing financing from big corporations and governments. Others have situated themselves at the intersection of individual financial development and social justice. The trajectories are many and varied, but innovation, social justice, and collectivity are common characteristics. Traditional cooperatives gradually find themselves surrounded by these new collective enterprises. Governments and the private sector have also begun to develop partnerships with these enterprises with the aim of achieving shared objectives. These innovative processes have not been without controversies, however. They have not only created an identity crisis, they also attracted questions of accountability, economic mediocrity, and ethics. This workshop entertains entailing case studies, debates, policy implications for academia and government and the cooperative sector. This is really interesting because cooperatives are not just here in Nova Scotia. For example, the former United Nations Secretary General Brutus Garland in his 1994 report to the General Assembly said, cooperative enterprises provide the organizational means whereby a significant proportion of humanity is able to take into its own hands the task of creating productive employment, overcoming poverty, and achieving social integration. So, ladies and gentlemen, without me trying to steal the show, I would like to give the chance to our first presenter, and that is Gavin Frieda.